Hello, this is Dr. Kirkendall, and this is the third video in this series where I'm going to be talking about the emotional and spiritual components of the four aspects. Remember, we said it was the biochemical, it is the toxicity, it's the emotional, and the structural components that when we look at all these components in your life, we can really identify very quickly what things are missing and what we need to add and what things are in excess and what we need to take away. So let's dive into it. So here in this part, we're talking about the emotional component. And in the emotional component, there was a Harvard released this a while back that 80% of all doctor and hospital visits are stress induced and emotional induced. So it's not a small component. And I'm not talking about emotional where you need to go talk to a counselor or where you need to talk to a psychotherapist or take a drug for your emotions. I'm talking about actually getting in connection with them, because when you're in a state of stress, when you're in a state of worry, your body actually creates a very acidic environment, and you really want your body to be in a neutral to 7 point plus where you're a little bit more and an alkaline balance. And so it's important to understand that the emotional component is huge. And I got to tell you, I really need to emphasize this. This is one of the most important, exciting components of the work that I do with you. And I feel it's what really makes what I do stand out and different, because when I was seeing clients, I saw over 40,000 patient visits in practice. And like a standard doctor, I was seeing a patient every 20 minutes. And so I was seeing over 150 patients a week for over a decade. And it was a huge hamster wheel. And yes, we were transforming lives. Yes, we were changing children in strokes and brain injuries and all types of health issues. But for me, it was a hamster wheel because I knew that you deserved better. I knew that you needed to go deeper, because if we're just trying to fix the toxicity and the emotion, and we're just trying to go through and fix it for the moment to where you get through it so you don't feel so bad, I know that we're not getting to the core. So the core of the work that I offer and that we do together is the deep work. It's the deep emotional work. It's the deep coaching work, because if you are at resistance with something in your life, like I don't like how I look, or I'm upset at my family, or I'm upset with the system or the politics, or, this is not fair, bad things always happen to me. These are consciousness states, and these consciousness states will absolutely affect you in such a powerful way. And if you're walking around with that consciousness state of, oh, this is really hard, this is really difficult, this is an emotional mood. And over time, a mood becomes an affect, and then it'll become a state of being where you just walk around and you see the world through your rose-colored glasses of this is how it is, and oh, look at this is so bad. And this is so important that we address this. We don't want to drug it. We don't want it to go away. We want you to be in connection with you. So the emotional component is absolutely essential. So I created what I call the emotional clearing technique. It's a very simple 5-step process where you get in touch with the emotional component of what's going on in your body. You learn from it. You ask it questions. It asks you questions. And then you can actually make peace with it, learn from it, evolve and grow from it, and let it go. When you are able to do that, this is you in connection with you. This is your ability to actually begin to be the person behind the wheel, where you're not depending on me or a counselor or a shrink. And I'm not saying counselors and shrinks and doctors aren't necessary when you need them, but I want you to be empowered. This is about living an empowered life. And so we need you to be powerful in your life and with your family and with your children, and feeling good and being of service to the world, because the world needs us to uplift it. It's been going through so much. And so that's why I really do what I do. So I use what's called the emotional clearing technique, and another process that I invent called I-coaching, which is where you actually learn to coach yourself. And I don't really like that word coaching, but it's a way of asking powerful questions to yourself to allow yourself to really be honest with what's honestly going on with you. And when you're honest with what's going on with yourself, you can make peace with yourself, then you're back in power, because the world is really, in so many ways, set up to sell you. They're using neurolinguistic programming. They're using all types of things like, oh, don't feel good enough? Well, we made these we made this product to make you feel better, or you feel like your butt's too fat, then try our new special jeans, or your legs are too, silly looking, try our new special shoes, or buy this car, it'll make you happy, or put in a new kitchen to keep up with the Joneses. These are all things that honestly, if you're feeling distracted, addicted, like anxiety driven, in depression, you're very easy to manipulate. You're very easy to control. You won't be able to think for yourself. And I don't want that for you. That's what was going on with me. And it's not necessary. So it's really important that we look at this. So this is the third part, right? We said biochemical. We went through that. We've gone through toxicity. We're going through the emotional piece now. And the fourth piece is structure, which is a massively important piece. Don't miss this piece. But I just want you to know, in other subsequent videos, or if you call and decide to work with me, we will go into great depth of how to do this for yourself. And this is about you taking the power back into your own hands. That's why I love the work so much, and the way I practice now more than ever than just seeing clients every 20 minutes. We want more time. We want more depth. We want you to be able to be inspired and empowered in your life. So I'm excited to see you in the next video.